Now we will start with the second unit, teamwork skills. Before actually going through teamwork skills, let us have a look at a video which tells us a kind of importance of working together as a team. So that's a video which will tell you how it is important to work in a team. Just ignore the end. The video is about teamwork skills, how these animals work in team in order to achieve their goal. Could you listen the audio? Okay. So what do we understand out of this video? There are a number of things that we can notice. First thing is that these peculiar animals are in a team. They are together and they have this delicious fruit in front of them. So that fruit can be taken as the goal which is given to the team, or in day-to-day language we call it as a target that has been assigned to the group of people, group of those animals. So target is always very sweet, right? Like that particular fruit. So when they try achieving that target, that fruit, they face problems, they get difficulties. There are some other people who create obstacles in front of you when you start working. So at that particular time, when that eagle comes and snatches the fruit from the tree, at the as the first reaction of these animals, they were afraid. They were afraid of the eagle and they felt defeated. But at a certain point of time, you might have noticed in that video that one of those animals raises his hand. So that person who raises his hand and shouts, takes initiative that yes, we are going to fight, can be taken as a leader of that particular team. So when the leader raises hands and shouts that yes, we are going to fight to achieve the target, other team members also raise their hands. So they started working as a team. So they go following that eagle. In the beginning, one of the animals jumps and catches the fruits, catches the fruit that was there in the clutch of that particular bird, right? But only one animal cannot do everything. So others start helping the first animal who had caught the fruit, and they follow their leader. They work together, they do not quit, and therefore finally they could defeat the enemy and they achieve their target. They get the fruit for which they were happy. So why it has become possible? It became possible only because they were working in a team, right? So let us now start with the topic teamwork skills, right? Teamwork skills. So team is generally and popularly also is taken as an abbreviation of together. Together, everyone, then for A achieves, and for M it is more. So team simply means together everyone achieves more. If we work together, we definitely achieve more than working in isolation. So working in team is always essential. It is not possible for each and every person to work in team. There are some qualities that are essential to be there in the personality of a person who wants to work as a member of a team. So let us go through some of the essential qualities or the abilities of a person who can be an effective and successful team member, right? So let us start with essential qualities of a good team member. We have gone through the qualities, essential qualities of a leader. So leader is always there in a team, and there are members also in a team. So we have seen the qualities of a leader. Now we are going to discuss the essential qualities of a good team member so that the team becomes successful. So the first essential quality of a team member is the ability to work with people from various age, gender, education, ethnic, and social background. Right? This is the first important quality of a person who can be a good team member. So that person should have ability to work with people from various age, because it is not always possible that a particular team consists of people of same age or similar age. It is possible that the group or the team can be heterogeneous with respect to age. So there can be young people in the team, there can be elderly people also in the team. So a person should have this ability to work with people of different age groups. Then it is possible that the group is a mixed group. There may be some male members and some female members in a team. So it should be possible for a person to work with male members also and female members also in a team. Then it is possible that the people who are there in a team, which are called as team members, may have different educational background. They might have degrees from different disciplines. Some of the team members might be highly educated, and some of the team members may be not so well qualified. So each and every team member should have this ability to work with people having different educational backgrounds. Then it is also possible that team members might have different ethnic background. Ethnic background means religious background. It is possible that a team may have members belonging to various religions, right? So it should be possible for a team member to work with people belonging to different religions, right? And even people from various social background, different social background may be there in a team. So the first and the most important thing for a good team member is to have the ability to work with people from various age, gender, education, ethnic, and social background, right? The second thing that is important for a good team member is ability to adapt to different kind of people, right? When it is a team, it is possible that there are different type of people in a particular team. So how we can categorize people? We can categorize people based on their nature, their behavior, right? So it is possible that a team may consist of people, some people who are short tempered. A particular team member can be short tempered person. A particular team member can be short tempered person simply means the person who gets angry very easily, right? So it is possible that this kind of person may be there in a team. It is even possible that there are some members in the team who are timid, afraid of the things, afraid of the challenges, right? It is possible that one of the team members lacks confidence. It is possible that some team members are very serious. It is possible that some team members are not that much serious. So different type of people are there in a team. So you as a team member should have the ability to adapt, adjust with different kind of people so that you can work together. If you cannot adjust with other team members in your team, you cannot work properly as a team member, you know. So you should have that ability to adjust with the people of various natures, various behaviors, various kinds of mm, people, right? Then you should have ability to adjust to changes or new situations, right? New changes or new situations, so that you can work properly. So adjustment is very important. Adjustment with people, adjustment to the changes that may occur in a team. So it is possible that you are assigned a different work someday, which you might not have done before. So that is a change which comes in your routine. So you have to adjust to the change. If your task is changed, you have to adjust to the new task also. You have to be ready to accept the new challenge also. Or sometimes new situations also are created in the team. So you should be able to face the new situations. If you cannot face the new situations, then you have to adjust to the situations that you face every day in a team, right? Next is ability to harness individual skills into team efforts, right? As we have already seen, there may be different type of people in a team. Those different type of people may have different abilities and different skills, different individual skills. So as a team member, this is essential even for a team leader also. But as a team member also, you should have the ability to harness, to use properly individual skills of each and every team member who are there in your team, so that the group can work as a team and you can achieve the target that has been given. So ability to harness individual skills simply means you should be able to use the respective skills of your team members. It is possible that a particular member in a team can speak well, so he can be, his spoken skill can be utilized properly in presentations. It is possible that a particular member in a team can write properly, so his skill of writing can be properly utilized while preparing annual reports. So in this way, each and every person in the team has some individual skills which can be harnessed, taken together into team efforts, so that the team becomes successful, right? Next one is need to know your role in the team, right? So each and every team member should have clear cut understanding of his or her role in the team. What I am expected to do for the team, or what I can do for the team. so that team becomes successful. So this concept should be very much clear. If you don't know what to do, you cannot work in proper directions. So at first it is a responsibility of the team leader to make everything clear to the team members, but on the part of the team member also it is essential that he should try to know his role in the team, what I am expected to do, what is my contribution in the success of the team, he should know. And then only a team member can work in the proper direction. Otherwise, he or she will be confused, isn't it? If he or she will not have a clear understanding of his role in the team, that the team member may get confused, and confusion leads to failure. If you are confused, there are more chances that you are going to fail in the task that has been assigned to you. If you know your role, you can tell yourself that yes, I'm going to do this. If you know your role, you can identify the problems. You can discuss the problems with the team leader or even with the other team members. So knowing your role in the team is an essential quality or essential thing a team member needs to do, right? This one is also very important. Need to understand your strengths and weaknesses. Know yourself. This means that know yourself, know thyself is a term that comes from Bible. Know thyself. Thyself is yourself, right? So the person who knows himself or herself is a knowledgeable person, it is called. So in order to understand yourself, in order to know yourself, you should have identified your strengths. Not only that, you should have identified your weaknesses so that you can work on that. If you know that this particular skill is my strength, you can utilize your strength for the success of the team. If you know that I am a good speaker, and if that is your strength, you can use your strength in your presentations, right? So identification or understanding of your strength is very much essential for the success of the team in order to achieve the target, right? And it is even more important to identify your weakness. Otherwise, if speaking is your weakness, that means if you are not a good speaker and if you are assigned a task of making presentations, and if you don't know or if you are not confident, but still you have not understood that I cannot speak well, sometimes it is possible that we are overconfident that I am going to present, let us see what happens, we see, right? So if speaking is your weakness and if you start presenting, your presentation will not be proper, it will not be effective, because that is your weakness and you don't know. So you have to think about your personality as a team member. You have to make a kind of list that these are the things which I can do better. So these are your strengths, and these are the things, second list, which I am not confident about. So these are your weaknesses. Weaknesses also can be converted in your strengths, but you have to take effort to convert your weakness into strength. You can work on the weakness if you understand that this is my weakness, and then those weaknesses converted into strength can be utilized properly in order to achieve the target. So if you know your strengths and weaknesses, you are a good team member, because you will think before doing anything, before taking any action, right? Next essential quality of a good team leader is, a good team leader is always ready to rotate roles, right? So that everyone gets to learn a wide range of skills. Rotating the roles is very important. Otherwise, what happens? We become master of one thing only. We become master of one kind of task only, and if the task is changed someday, if our responsibility is changed, we feel awkward, we feel uncomfortable. So ready to rotate roles. Rotating the roles means changing the roles. If a particular person is looking at the accounts in a team, it is possible that the person who looks who takes care of the accounts of the team may get a responsibility of preparing reports, and the person who was preparing reports for the team may get, we can say, opportunity or responsibility to look after the accounts of that particular team. So it is possible that if the roles are changed, all the team members get equipped with different skills, right? So rotation of the roles is very essential for a good team, because if sometimes it is possible that a particular team member who looks after the account section of the team is on leave for 1 or 2 weeks, the responsibility can be taken by the another member who has the experience of account section, isn't it? So this becomes possible only if the roles are rotated, roles are changed, so that each and every member in the team gets an opportunity to tackle each and every kind of responsibility or task that is assigned to the team, right? So team members should be ready to rotate the roles. Otherwise, if you say that I will only look at the accounts, then you will not get other skills, isn't it? If you are not ready to rotate your roles, you will get only limited kind of skill, right? So a good good team member is always ready to take whatever responsibility that is assigned to him or her by the team member, right? Most important is one needs to be a good communicator, right? So a good team member should be a good communicator. As we have seen that a good leader also should be good communicator. Each and every person in a team should have the ability to communicate. What happens if the particular person in a team does not have the ability to communicate? He cannot share his ideas, he cannot share his problems. If the problems are shared, a solution can be found. If ideas are shared, ideas can be utilized for the betterment of the team, right? So one needs to be a good communicator if he or she wants to be a good team member. If a team members, all the team members are good communicators, then they can respond positively to the task that has been assigned to them. They can even participate actively in the discussion that goes on in the team, mostly in the meetings. They can participate in the meetings, they can share their ideas, they can raise their doubts, no? They can even encourage other team members by their motivational speech, right? If some team member may have some difficulties, others with a good communication skill can encourage that team member, can share ideas. A good communicator implies to be a good listener also, not only to be a good speaker. Each and every team member, including the team leader, should be a good listener. We have to listen to the people. Then only there is a kind of understanding between or among the people, right? Among the team members. If we don't listen, if we only go on speaking, then it becomes one way. kind of communication, and then communication does not become successful, right? Doubts might not be solved. So each and every team member should be given an opportunity to speak. So when a team member speaks, other team members should listen to what he or she is speaking, right? Next one is ninth essential quality is ability to ask questions. Now this is very important ability. This is a kind of essential quality which should be there in a good team member, because asking question is never easy. Giving answers sometimes is easy, but in order to ask questions, you have to think over that. You have to analyze the situation, and then only question may be there, in your mind. You have to understand the situation completely, then and then only you can raise questions, right? And if one of the team members raise questions, there can be discussion, and then that discussion might lead to the solution, right? So ability to ask questions to one another is very important, because asking questions can function as icebreakers. If there is a gap in the communication, asking question can start discussion. If you ask a question to other team members or leaders, other team members or leaders may share their ideas in response to your questions, right? So asking question is one of the essential qualities of a good team member, right? Next one is number 10. Flexible, so that be flexible so that the conflicts can be avoided, right? Flexibility is one of the essential quality of a good team member. He should be flexible so that he can accept the opinions of the others, and he can give respect to the opinions expressed by other team members. If the team members are not flexible in their opinions, flexible in the sense we should be able to receive the suggestions given by others. We should not say that this is the only thing, this is the only right thing, this is the only correct thing, no change will be made. We should not say so when we are a part of a team. We should be able to cope up with the situations created in the team member which may lead to conflict. Conflict is quarrel. So quarrels or conflicts or problematic situations can be avoided if and only if the team members are flexible. Otherwise, if you are not ready to accept the opinion or suggestion given by another team members, there may be a conflict of opinions. Conflict of opinions might result at certain point of time. So you need to be flexible. You have to respect the opinion expressed by other team members, right? So being flexible as a team member is essential so that the functioning of a team can go smooth, in a smooth manner, right? So these are some of the essential qualities of a good team member.